Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Em, and this video today we're just gonna sit down and have like a little chitty chat about the Our Fantasy bingo card for 2024. I tend to get really excited about this when it's announced in April, and then I forget all about it till a couple months before the next one is gonna come out. So we're gonna go through and see which prompts I have fulfilled and then build a TBR for a future vlog so that I can complete this board and be ready when it is time for 2025's to come out. So here we've got the blank board, and I guess we're just gonna go through and see what I have for each square and what I don't have. If you are interested in participating, I will link the Reddit page down below and you can go see what it's all about. It's pretty fun when I remember to do it. Okay. Apologies. I lost the light a little bit as I was getting prepared. So the light shifted a little bit. Sorry about that. So let's just go through, and when we get to a square that I don't have a book for, we'll figure out what I'm going to read. So for first in a series, I put We Set the Dark on Fire by Taylor K. Mejia. I also want to say that just because I put a book on the board does not mean I recommend it. It just means it fit the prompt. That's not the case with We Set the Dark on Fire. Like, I actually did genuinely enjoy it for the most part, but there is one book that I'm gonna slot in that I hated, so it's not necessarily a recommendation. Alliterative title, I put Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. Under the Surface, I put Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Shauna McGuire, which is the newest Wayward Children. For the Criminals prompt, I put A Tempest of Tea. And that brings us to our first prompt that I don't have a book for, which is the Dreams prompt. And the little explanation on Reddit says, read a book where characters experience dreams, magical or otherwise. I don't know. I had initially said I was going to read The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin because that I know has a dream component. I think the magic system is dream-based. But I tried it and I couldn't get into it. And while I could like shoehorn that in to try to force myself to read it, I don't want to. So I want to first see what Reddit recommends, because I find their recommendations are sometimes useful. So I could read The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. That apparently has a dream component. The Helm of Midnight by Mariana Lostetter, I do really want to read, but I'm also scared because I've seen some of the content warnings for that book and I'm worried it's just going to be a little too intense. And then there are also some like really great recommendations, but they're books I haven't read before, and with our fantasy bingo board, you aren't really allowed to reread books. I mean, you can, but I'm gonna try not to. Ooh, interesting. Apparently The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez has a lot of dreams in it, and I do have that, and I've been wanting to read it, but I know it's kind of like a big brain book. Yeah, let's think about that. Okay, I'm officially gonna say that I'm gonna read The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez for the dreams prompt. Now let's move on to the next row. So the next one is entitled Animals, and this is where you read a book with an animal in the title. And I don't have anything for this one either. I don't know how I didn't read a single book with an animal in the title all year, but I checked and I have not. Their examples are The Raven Tower, Wolf Song, A Feast for Crows, stuff like that. Oh, I actually have done this one because I read one of the Lady Trent memoirs last year, and that does have serpents in the title, The Tropic of Serpents. All right, and then the next one for the Bard's prompt, I did The Story of Silence by Alex Myers. Prologues and epilogues. Made me pick a fantasy book and it's got a prologue and epilogue. I put Bride by Ali Hazelwood in for this one. Self-published or indie published, I read The Vacuum of Space. This is the one I don't recommend. It's not very good. Romantasy, I read Stolen by the Wolves. And then our next prompt to fill is Dark Academia, which I don't read a lot of because I don't really enjoy it. So we'll see if there's anything that I haven't read that I am interested in, which is the tricky one. I mean, I could read Blood Over Bright Haven. I do have an arc of it. I'll put that one in. I want to read that. Obviously, I brought it home. I kind of forgot that that was Dark Academia. And then the next prompt is multi-POV. I've slotted into Twisted Crowns. For published in 2024, I put Dreadful. And then we're going to come to the next prompt that I need to fill, which is a character with a disability. I could have put Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear in here because that character does have a disability, but the goal is to try to not to double up with your prompts. So I want to see what my other options are. I could also use The Spear Cuts Through Water for this one. if I wanted to shuffle things around. Oh, okay, so The Outside, which I also own, by Ada Hoffman, the main character is autistic. That would be great. I've been wanting to read that book for a long time. Okay, and then here's another prompt that I need to fill, which is the published in the 90s prompt. I hate these prompts. I hate these like read an old book prompts because I'm always nervous that I'm gonna run into problematic content, and so I dislike it so much. Oh, I could read an older Martha Wells. I forget she's been publishing for so long. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to read City of Bones by Martha Wells. This one is also a little tricky because it did just get republished last year or the year before. So lines are a little squiggly on that one, but that's okay. All right, for the next prompt, Orcs, Trolls, and Goblins, oh my, I'm gonna put in How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. For space opera, did I really not read a space opera this year? I don't know what happened to my reading. Usually I'm all over a space opera. I think for that one I'm gonna put in Ardent Violet and the Infinite Eye. It's the second book in the August Kiko and the Mechas from Space series, and I really liked that one. And that second book just came out, and it would be good to get it read sooner rather than later. For the author of color, I put The Dead Cattail Assassins. And then survival, I don't know if I really read survival speculative fiction. Oh, woo, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, that's it, because I have that out from the library. And if you saw my February TBR, you know I am really excited about that book. I don't know why, I just am. And then for judge a book by its cover, I just picked a book at random. I picked Kings of the Wild to put in for this one. For Set in a Small Town, I put in Someone You Can Build a Nest In. It's a medieval small town, but it's a small town. For 5 short stories, I put Sword, Stone, Table, which is a short story anthology about King Arthur. And then Eldritch Creatures is our last prompt that I need to fill. And this might be another one where I figure out I have read something, but I don't have a great grasp on what an eldritch creature, what qualifies as an eldritch creature. Oh, and The Dead Take the A Train has eldritch creatures. Perfect, because I got that one for Christmas. And then for reference materials, which basically means if does it have a map, a glossary, anything like that, cast of characters, and I put What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. And then the final prompt is book clubs or read along, and I read I Was a Teenage Slasher for the Literally Dead book club, so that one works great. All right, so here is my R Fantasy bingo board TBR plus City of Bones, which I'll have to get from the library, and Ardent Violet and the Infinite Eye, which my husband currently is reading. So this is quite a lofty stack with 7 books. So this will definitely be like a 2-part reading vlog, but I'm excited. So keep your eyes out for that. I will be getting them out hopefully not too long after this video goes up. So let me know if you are also participating in the R Fantasy bingo board for this year. Let me know what squares you have that you haven't filled yet. And if you have recommendations for these prompts that I'm missing books for, of things you think I should read instead or that you think I would really like, go ahead and leave those in the comments as well. I would love to hear about them. And if you just want to leave an emoji to let me know you were here, let's do an octopus emoji because these look like tentacles. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!